Welcome back. Now we are going to start a recording and review some of the display screens that are available in the pm7000. So we're going to get out of the configuration mode by clicking on Back. We're going to click on Start Recording. Our session name we will change to 100 Main Street. And then we'll put today's date down. Click on OK. We're going to record. It shows us as 8 hours. It's assuming the nominal voltage is 120 volts. You can do a delayed start, and you can also delete previous sessions on start. I'm going to delete the previous sessions. I'm not going to set up a delay, and I will click on Start. Our unit is now recording, collecting all sorts of waveforms and detailed information. And we can go in here and we can review our general parameters right now. And you'll notice you can review the most recent measured results and select Live. And it will give you the summary of your voltages and currents. You can click on Voltage and Current and review all that information live as it's coming in. If you click on one of the numbers, you'll notice that up comes a graph, and you can actually pan over on this and watch those values coming in. And here it comes. You can change your signal here. You can also change your zoom history. You can zoom in by using the plus magnifying glass, or zoom out using the minus magnifying glass. So here I zoomed out, and you can see those values coming in. You also have a help button here that details the information about this screen, and you have a bar graph that's a cumulative histogram based on the values that are represented here. You can change those values and go to the whole recording, or change and look at any particular area by just simply clicking on any of these buttons and modifying them to what you would like to see. We're going to click on Accept. Now we're going to go back and back. So that's the general parameters button, and that's why I chose 2 seconds. I wanted to demonstrate the online graphing capability that you can see with that Pocket PC real time. Now we're going to review our detailed recording channels, and it will show you all the recording channels that are programmed, and you can use the scroll down button here. You can also change the channels to be displayed. If you want to see just your voltages, you can clear all and just click on those voltages that you want to display and click on Accept, and now it will modify those windows and give you the best display it can based on the number of channels selected. We're going to go to Back. We'll review our harmonic and phasors diagram. Here you'll see the harmonic bar graph, and you can take the fundamental out, or you can put the fundamental in. By taking the fundamental out, all the other harmonics are magnified and will actually show you the distortion. You can also click on Show Direction, and it will show you whether the harmonic is being generated from the source or from the load. You can also review and change your harmonics display simply by clicking on that button. And typical with harmonics, the higher magnitude harmonics are closer to the fundamental. You can also review on your table. It'll show you all the harmonics the relative percent, the phase angle based, as well as the value for each individual signal, and you can modify that, or each harmonic. You can look at interharmonics, and interharmonics are every frequency other than multiples of the fundamental. So to clarify, the fundamental frequency in the United States is 60 hertz. The second harmonic in the United States would be 2 times 60, or 120 hertz. Interharmonics can be 61 hertz, 75 hertz, 90 hertz. It's basically anything that's in between a multiple of the fundamental. And the pm7000 can give you a resolution down to 5 hertz bandwidth. So if you're looking at, for instance, 120 hertz right here, that's 120 hertz plus or minus 2.5 hertz. On your phasor diagram, you can scroll through and look at individual harmonics for each signal. And we'll click on back. Now we're going to look at the computer standards, and we're going to look at the 50160 compliance. And this indicates how the measured parameters have complied with that criteria, and you'll notice the frequency is passed, the flicker has passed, the voltage level has failed, and individual harmonics and THD have failed. You can also look at events and see that we had a sag, we had a long interruption here, and you can see all the waveform events on the ITIC curve. Now right here you can see everything to the left of this blue line is good, everything to the right is bad. And this is a curve that was put out by computer manufacturers that gave guidelines on how the power supplies was supposed to be developed, and how the power supply to those computers should provide the power. So I'm going to use my plus magnifying glass here, and I'm going to look at something that is outside that blue line. I'm going to click on my dot to waveform here, and I'm going to look at this one right here. And there's the waveform that we actually captured, and you can see here that it was a notch, and it was rank 65. This is the voltage of A phase neutral, and you can scroll through and look at B phase neutral, C phase neutral. Actually, that's the neutral to earth. And you can also look at the individual ranks, and you can scroll up and look at whatever you'd like there. You can select the crosshairs and click on anywhere on that trace and get the actual value of that trace at that particular point. You can put the fundamental in or take the fundamental out. So that is the waveform events. Now we're going to click on back, and back, well, we're going to click on severity and duration. And this gives you the graphs of the severity of the percent of the nominal, as well as the duration of all your events that have occurred. You can review the ranking of each particular waveform that has been captured, and you can also look at the 3D bar graph. When all is flat, like it is here, life is good. It means your voltage, and you have not had any major voltage disturbances. If you did have some voltage disturbances, you would see actual peaks, and this would start getting bumpy like mountains. So we're going to go back, and we're going to click on back again, and that is the compare to standard. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually introduce some events so we can show you what that 3D bar graph can provide for you. Now we're going to click on waveforms, let me get that back up. And let me give an outage again for a couple seconds. And I'm going to bring it back up. And now we're going to look at stored waveforms and look at our severity and the ITIC curve. And now you can see we have some events down here that have actually dropped out and you're down to 0. So we're going to click on this, review that particular one there, and it was an interruption. The duration was 11. And we're going to go to the 3D bar graph, and there you see where we had actually a voltage disturbance occur. We're going to go back, and this is our live waveform right here, and you have the crosshairs where you can look at a particular value right on the trace and get that value. You can also remove the fundamental and put the fundamental back in. We're going to go to back, and this completes our display portion of the pm7000 training video. Thank you.